being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Honestly, at this point it feels like everyone and their cousin has something to say about this situation.
To pull up their
But let's get real. For the past year, Cheryl Swoops has launched some of the strangest, most baseless accusations imaginable at Caitlin Clark. We're talking bizarre claims, saying Clark was actually 25 playing against teenagers, that her historic rookie season wasn't impressive, even suggesting no one in the league wants to team up with her. It was a non-stop barrage of negativity that felt like it would never end.
They will recognize, her game, but they won't recognize her impact.
right.
How can you separate the two? It's kind of
hard,
right?
And I used Jax, you're absolutely right.
And then, just when the noise seemed unbearable, a true basketball titan stepped into the spotlight. Cheryl Miller, Clark's former coach and one of the most respected figures in the sport. She appeared on the All the Smoke podcast and delivered what can only be described as a devastating knockout blow to the critics. She called out Swoops' behavior for exactly what it was and dismantled every myth that had been pushed for months. Fans erupted. Finally, someone with real authority put Swoops in her place. But Miller's passionate defense of Clark revealed something even more important, something that could change the future of the Indiana Fever. And trust me, you'll want to hear this. Before we break down everything Miller said, let's rewind. Because to understand the impact of her words, you need to understand the strange, relentless campaign Swoops has waged against Caitlin Clark. A campaign that started in college and continued straight into her rookie season.
The year, two-time national championship, two-time tournament MVP, first woman to dunk in an organized game, gold medalist. Thank you for making time. Welcome to the show, Cheryl Miller.
It began with Swoops spreading flat-out false claims about Clark's college career. Her wildest accusation, that Clark was 25 playing against 20-year-olds. Here's the truth, Clark was 22, a senior, just like countless other players. When Swoops was pressed, she tried to dismiss it as hyperbole about COVID eligibility, but the excuse fell apart instantly.
About how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a...
Then came another attempt to downplay Clark's success. Swoops claimed Caitlin was taking 40 shots a game, trying to frame her as a selfish volume shooter. Reality check. Clark averaged 22.7 shots. And here's the twist, Swoops herself averaged 19.2 shots her senior year. The hypocrisy couldn't be clearer. As Clark approached the NCAA scoring record, Swoops pivoted again, suggesting she'd need a fifth year to reach it. Completely false. Clark could have taken a fifth year, just like everyone with COVID eligibility, but she didn't. And she still shattered the record.
Now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Carry on.
I know you like that.
Hell yeah.
I said that because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on...
Once Clark entered the WNBA, Swoops confidently predicted she wouldn't make an impact. Instead, Clark broke rookie assist records, averaged 19.2 points, led the league with 8.4 assists, and won Rookie of the Year. Her performance did all the talking.
If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken...
One of Swoops' most blatant moments came on Angel Reese's podcast, criticizing Clark nonstop while insisting she had nothing against her. It was textbook contradiction, and fans noticed.
She wouldn't be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did.
Respectfully, there is absolutely no way, even when we're trying to sit here and play semantics about dominating, there's no way that anyone could ever leave this season in saying that both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't dominate. You would have to further explain what dominance means for you to not sit here and say that a player who is leading the league in assists while averaging 19 to 20 points didn't dominate.
Eventually, the consequences hit. Swoops was removed from broadcasting an Indiana Fever game and replaced by another legend, Nancy Lieberman, someone who wasn't afraid to speak the truth about Clark's value to the league.
Since she was in college, I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first SBs. I've known Cheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her. I called her when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed, that, you know, there was this quote by Cheryl that said, you know, Caitlin was, you know, 25 years old. She was, however old, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. Right. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records.
And that's where everything shifted, when Cheryl Miller sat down on all the smoke and finally addressed the situation. The basketball world listened. Because Miller isn't just an icon, she actually coached Clark at the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game. She saw firsthand what critics refused to acknowledge.
The treadmill, and I called her as a friend, and I said, you know, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you know, you might like Boston, I might like the Yankees. You know, it's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone, and I was like, Cheryl, you know, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship, it pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four. Right. She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Cheryl.
Miller talked about the immense pressure Clark faced, how constant negativity forces a player to feel like they must prove themselves every single night.
Right, and I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. Yeah. But she was in the backyard.
And she called out the uncomfortable truth. Clark's critics ignore the obvious. Her presence has elevated the entire league. Viewership, up. Ticket sales, up. Media attention, up. And yes, salaries too. Clark's impact benefits everyone, even the ones trying to tear her down.
Look, as much as she was given, you can't tell me if that door would have swung the other way where she didn't live up to the hype. Right. Come on, folks are still waiting for her to fall.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yep.
So, with that being said, you big dummies, you get it.
After coaching Clark up close, Miller was blown away by what she saw. Beyond the highlights, beyond the narratives, she saw an elite basketball mind with generational court vision. That's why her defense hit so hard. It wasn't emotional. It wasn't biased. That it was first-hand experience from someone who knows greatness.
Coached the WNBA All-Star Game. You spent some time with Caitlin Clark.
Best coaching job ever.
Best coaching job
Best
ever.
coaching job ever.
Being around Caitlin Clark, how was the experience for her? She's such a big star. I mean, the sky's the limit for her. To be around her, just talk about the type of person she is, how much she loves the game.
I'm going to be honest because it needs to be said. I can relate to that young lady, and I felt for her. Mm-hmm. I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a black woman and hate. Imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. Mm-hmm. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Mm-hmm. Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the...
After Indiana's first win of the 2025 season, the two shared a moment that revealed just how isolating the criticism had been. Miller recalled hugging Clark and hearing her say, "Finally, someone who's on my side." A rookie drowning in expectations and noise finally felt seen.
I said, I didn't know how talented she was and how well she sees the game in a 3D version. Thinker. Defensively, a lot better than I thought and gave her credit for. So watching her and just spending a little time. And one thing, guys, that I've learned is to step back and let these kids.
Miller didn't just comfort her, she guided her. She told Clark, "I'm very proud of you. Take this as a guide, but always stay true to yourself."
With everything left and right, and I just said, I hugged her, I said, "I'm so proud of you." I go, savor this, use this as a formula. I said, but keep being you. I said, no matter what.
And that's where everything shifted, when Cheryl Miller sat down on all the smoke and finally addressed the situation. The basketball world listened. Because Miller isn't just an icon, she actually coached Clark at the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game. She saw firsthand what critics refused to acknowledge.